Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, today we're going to be playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. And I was a very big fan of the initial Half-Life 2 mod and also of the standalone retail game. So I'm really curious to see what the re-release, the kind of remake, adds to the table. I know they ported the entire game over to Unity because I figured it'd be easier than porting Source, and in this day and age, probably correct. Um, but I have tried to remain as unspoiled as possible. I know there is a bucket, and that's about it. So I think I'm ready to hop in. I've got the first initial options selected, and it's gonna ask me if I played the Stanley Parable before. I don't know what's gonna happen when I click that. So we're gonna hop over there in just a second. How am I doing? I'm doing pretty good, bruh. I hope you are doing well as well. And if you're not, well, I hope that listening to the smooth British narration of the Stanley Parable can help. Anyways, let us get to it. You are awesome. That is so good to hear. All right. Sorry. I'm just going to switch over to controller here just because that way you don't have to hear the clicky clacks. I can't use a controller yet, but I have played the Stanley Parable. Till the computer is barely visible. Like there. Sorry there, just had to deal with a text message. We're good. Let's go ahead and click OK. Please enter the current time. Forgot what time it was for a second. Is all the old things as well as the new stuff? I have no idea, Billman. Let's find out. Accessibility settings, menu. Okay. It did ask me if I had played the original game before. So maybe yes. Subtitles large, opacity. I don't need to show translation labels, I don't think. Suicide, trauma, and mental health issues. Oof. Actually, to be fair, no, I know which parts those are if they're the same. Oh, I do have to adjust the overall game's volume. And I'm gonna turn down those two. There we go. So doing some source engine fuckery. I wonder if that is emulated. I have no idea. We'll find out. VSync off. Apply resolution. Oh yeah, 8 times anti-aliasing. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. Can I not use a gamepad? Oh, there we go. That's weird. What are you doing? Okay, so if I just start using a controller, it'll automatically switch. Good. Look, move, crouch with trigger, pause. Okay. Fairly simple stuff. We're not doing anything. I think that's everything, so let's get into it. The end is loading.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Ah, I missed you.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job.
Imagine finding joy in pressing computer buttons.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Whee! Achievement unlocked. You can't jump. I just mashed the spacebar. I did see a couple people get that achievement, so I knew that was one of the things that they did. And they've removed jumping, which means you can't go out of bounds here anymore.
All his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Or if you
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Maybe there's a different way to do it.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
It's like slipping into an old pair of shoes.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
All right, 50 clicks. Limit situations they can think greater than I would expect. Yeah, you'd think so.
I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
Okay. Yeah, maybe that's something that they'll let you do later. Here's 4217. Oh, here it is.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
Okay.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
Okay. You got it, boss. Not behind me, is it? Nope.
Now, back to door number 437.
On it, boss. Can't really read that. Can I zoom in? I don't think there's a button to zoom in, which is kind of unfortunate. It'd be cool to read some of those stuff in high definition. What was it for?
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine?
Okay.
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
Me too, buddy.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
Okay, that's going to be a bit of a problem, though. I can't jump. How are we going to do this, buddy? Buddy, what's the plan? Oh, hold on. I see.
Yes! This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
Right away, boss.
We've almost got
Ooh!
it! Now the copy machine, do that one again!
Excellent.
Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes!
Woo!
We did it!
Yeah!
Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today.
Me too.
Just think, only a few minutes ago, you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
Ooh. Oh dear. This side is untextured. It goes down the entire way, too. Ooh. Spooky. Is it the same here? Doesn't look like it, unless... Although I can't really tell, obviously, since there's like a black little... There's like no lighting in between there. Anyways, if that didn't kind of tell you what kind of game this is, welcome to the Stanley Parable. Ooh, feels good, man. Hi, Lane. How are you doing?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Door on the
This
right.
was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Definitely not gonna lie. It is weird how little chairs there is in here. Like, this entire part is empty, and also
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room.
also the
A
whole
room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings.
they're very nice
Really
paintings.
worth it.
That is a huge step. I cannot I can imagine having like spilling your drink so many times
At
coming
this
up from the
point,
vending machine.
Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Oh yeah, the original game was a trip, and I'm really curious to see what the remake brings. But mildly irritating the British the game. That's the goal in life, really.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue. But when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Okay, so you can just make the key tapping sound whenever you want. Keep dry. Coffee nut. I can't really read that. Too bad I can't pick these up. Darn. I was really hoping there would be one more thing of dialogue, but I think the narrator is done playing games.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Straight ahead. Onward we go.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
Penalty for misuse of cargo lift, $1,000. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift, $5,000. Anybody got a quick $5,000 I can borrow?
We've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. What? Really? And when you're in the middle of something, do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
You can tell that I remember a lot of this game. This game left an impression on me because I just remember how to do all this stuff. Oh. Hey. No, I wanted to read that. Shit.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Ooh, there's a key card in this one. I wonder if we can get a key card. I'm not sure where we'd get one, but... Red door. Blue door. Got it.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Blue door.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Blue door.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there?
Yeah.
You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. Do you see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted?
Yeah.
Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see.
It's great.
Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Office Space. The one thing I actually kind of really liked was when I played Counter-Strike Source, and I downloaded custom maps. Some of them were like specifically just using the orange like textures, and I thought it was like a really cool look. So, this way. Ah,
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
1.
A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that?
I don't know. You gave me the
I
options.
guess it isn't my place to judge.
Were the default
Here,
hammer editor
based on
textures?
the
They
data
are.
from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one.
What previously
Let's take a look.
playthrough? The Stanley Parable Worldwide Leaderboard. Good old Neil, Skid, Nacho, Vola, Hogarth, Maze Esquire. Stanley 427. This is me.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors?
Absolutely.
Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course,
I mean, I'm a worse
the message of
fascist
the
than
game
Hitler and
only
Mussolini.
becomes
I'm very,
clear once you've
very,
been playing
very
it for
bad at
about
being a
4 hours.
fascist.
So
So
why don't you give it 4
maybe that's
hours
what they're
of
talking
play
about.
to make sure it's effective.
Okay,
Be sure to keep notes.
we're
on
not
your
doing the 4
experience.
hours of play. Also, is it that choppy? Is it like that choppy? Not receiving enough video. Oh, fuck. 80% CPU. Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of... Sorry, everybody. I didn't know it was that choppy. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, you dumbass. You fucking dumbass. Ah, I'm ruining everything. I'm sorry, everybody. Whoops. Okay, sorry, let's go ahead and turn off some stuff so I can have some more CPU cycles. That sounds like a good idea to me. It is... Oh. Oh, what is it right now? I know, I'm sorry, bro, I fucked it up. Sorry, I should have looked over it. Saw that it was, it looks like we're okay. Hang on, before you can I just say something? I think we're actually setting the clock to both times so you put it up the game. A lot of people... Oh, shit. Sorry. I forgot to actually swap back. So when it asked me to set the clock, it is like, oh, well, thank you so much for actually, like, putting the clock as what it is. A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave it at clock set at 12 and call it a day. But you're actually taking the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. That's how I know that you care about this experience. You're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see the screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Go ahead, pick whatever time you want, even if it's not the correct time. You've earned it. All right, I'll let you get back to the video game now. Oh, that's so good. Again, sorry, like I'm very much playing this blind, so I don't know. Oh, apply resolution. There we go. I'm gonna also maybe turn down the anti-aliasing and can I guess I really can't. Let's just go down to, I don't know if that'll help with the CPU cycles, but I think we're okay. We look like we're doing good. I don't know. Let's hope this is okay now.
This is
All right.
all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I like work. I just hate my boss. Same. That's why you should unionize and take over the
No
workplace.
matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Okay, I think we're good now. Gotta turn off those monitors, everybody. I don't actually remember what the actual sequence. Let's go
When
along
Stanley
with it.
came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
How to solve a dispute with a coworker. Let it ball up inside you. Take it out passive-aggressively on other coworkers. Resent coworkers for not supporting you more. Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic in the header and throws some bevel in all that text. This will ensure a calm and productive work environment. It's very true. Everyone is unique. You most of all. What is hot? Profits. Colored in segment. The stock market is somewhere here. Numbers of slides on this slides, charts, and slides. God, it's just like making PowerPoints again. Heard it which charts on the same slide depict the same information. More water cooler heaters, charts that need to be more hip to appeal to teenage demographic. Find teenagers to put in teenage demographic. Big net? Some sort of child trap? Throw something in the idea bin. No more bins, trash cans. Renaming of the idea bin. Firing of me. Ideas bin. Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. Do not just write big, do not erase. Get Chris out of the broom closet. Prefer R&D funding of new coffee machine. Hire somebody to find the paper synergizing guy. Who moved my desk? I won't read the whole thing here, but very funny. Monetize, free to play. The broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
That's a very low poly broom.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
I gotta look at all the low poly tools.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way.
What is that,
As
like
it
a
is, he's
pressure
literally
washer
just
handle?
standing there doing sweet FA.
Also, God, look how big those rolls of duct tape are. Those are like probably as wide as my hand.
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Also, these big spools of wire. Also, 3 rolls of duct tape. 4 rolls of duct tape.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
Ah, that's what being a DM feels like. I never thought to mention it.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path.
Upgrades to
Maybe
goose tape.
when you go talk about this with your friend, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite."
Oh,
I hope your friends find this concerning.
I love the broom closet ending. It was very, very
Stanley
emotional.
was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Hell yeah, Stanley.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
So, there's no mop in here. I'm realizing that now. There's like one of the, these like things that you wheel around and squeeze out the mop, but there's no mop. For a minute, I thought I was locked inside, and I was going to be like, huh.
Second player, it's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ooh, the executive bathroom. Because the boss knows that what the boss says goes. If the boss suffered losses, then that's what the boss chose. Extreme bathrooms. I wish I could zoom in. That's so hard to read. Ooh. Fancy soap. Time magazine. Okay, I don't actually think there's anything in here. Business time. Are hostile takeovers the new biannual percentage? Say it ain't so.
Stepping into it.
Oh, I remember so much about this stupid game. Like how that thing I just did is entirely a thing that you're supposed to be able to do. I just don't remember where I go now. Ah, look at this. Ah, the void. You are now leaving. Good. It's behind me. The eternal void that hungers. Escape pod bay, floor 760. Time to take the stairs. Keep taking the stairs. Damn, Stanley should really think of, encoding overloaded. Why this? How about no anti-aliasing? Can I... How much is the Stanley Parable taking up? Like 33%, that's not bad at all. Power usage, very high. How is VTube Studio using very high power usage? Oh, I guess just because it's... So is the Stanley Parable. Okay, alright. Whoops. Sorry, I'm just doing my best to try and fix the CPU things. I think I definitely also need to just reapply my cooling paste to see, hopefully, that can help airflow, because I think the other thing, too, is that the computer is just kind of getting warm, and that, like, obviously the CPU throttles when that happens. So that'll be something I do this weekend, probably, hopefully, tomorrow. I'm just hoping to try and organize with somebody who knows a bit more about computers than I do to, like, show them what I'm doing and being like, please, please, for the love of God, help me. I don't know computers. So, we escape. I think. Where the fuck are we? The escape pod.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I actually don't remember if there's more to that than
When
anything
Stanley
else.
came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
But, of course, it's very fun to see, like, what still works. And the answer so far
Yet
is
there was not
everything.
a single person here either.
Except jumping. I can't go out of
Feeling a wave
bounds.
of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Oh, no. Oh, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Will do. Love staring at all these low poly, low resolution textured tools that are just sitting here. I wish I could see what's on the top shelf. Stanley, I wish you had working knees. Wait, no, you do have working knees because you can crouch. I wish you had, like, any ability to clear the ground. I wish you could fight against the Earth's gravity. Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Definitely once we, like, do a couple run-throughs of this game, I'll look through for a walkthrough to see, what, I'm missing. Oh! Did this open last time and I just didn't notice? Indoors monthly. Business strategy. Killing pandas. Oh god. Going up. Oh, I think it actually does skip it if I keep mashing the button. Okay, let's go down. I think we're done looking at things here. So where does this go? Ah. Yep, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret pin number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
It's not working.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
If only I knew what the combination was. I'll try 8, 8, 8.
2845.
8. Okay. How about 8? And then 8. And then law of probability suggests it's going to be another 8. And I think for poetic sense...
But it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, what did he do?
Oh... Going up? We can't go up. I definitely missed just completely fucking with the narrator. I mean, obviously,
deeper into the building,
that's the point,
Stanley
but
realized he felt a bit peculiar.
the narrator definitely
was a
sells.
stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Time to find out the terrible dark
Stanley
secret.
walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Okay.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Well, I'm a Dex build, so probably not.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Oh my god. We were mind controlled the entire time.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Really wish she'd brought a
Here
flashlight,
was the
Stanley.
proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
It's time to make a narrative choice. On.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
No.
After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex.
Oh dear.
How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are?
Yeah, that would be nice.
A moment of solace before you're obliterated?
Look, I'll take my chances.
All right,
I'll take my small victories.
You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not?
Yay!
These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment.
Oh dear.
But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count.
10 seconds.
It's all the same to me. All a part
Goodbye,
of the journey.
employee 247.
And believe me, I will be laughing
27.
at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever up.
Yay! We're dead! Time to do this again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm not really sure, like, I guess I could do this sequentially or anything, but...
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
I'm
he
just gonna
entered
keep
the door
fucking
on his
around
left.
until I come across, like, the new content, because I don't know what it is.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a
wonder
wave
where that
of disbelief,
key card is.
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Yeah, let me in. Let me in!
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, well, this is terrifyingly blue. What's this? I wish I could zoom in to read that. Because that actually looks high enough resolution that you could read that texture, but I can't read it because Stanley refuses to pick things up.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that?
Yeah.
This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just...
Explain that, scientists.
He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up.
While still walking.
He felt the cool
Stanley's a
weight
real
of the
Chad.
blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want.
All I want to do is push
I want
buttons.
my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
I have to repeat that mantra to myself every day.
I am okay.
That one I never say because I can't lie to myself.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss, I have an office, I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real, I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariela. Mariela woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life.
Can't forget the
She had no
grind.
time for this.
Fuck
So
medical
it was
emergencies.
only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Don't have time for those. I'm back on the grind. Fuck helping people. Okay, be right back. I just have to go to the washroom. Hello again, everybody. Okay, I'm back. And I'm ready to become Stanley.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
We did it, everybody. We found the new content. Let's go.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Look at all this new content. The mines of content. They were here all along.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Yay!
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and
juice me up.
expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
More.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Woohoo!
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Is there a button on the wall behind me? Oh, nope.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Oh, cracking. So exciting.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content.
This little ad.
Give me the content, Stanley.
Oh, the new content. I think we're about to find it, Billman.
All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
They took out jumping just to put it back in and paid DLC.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Spamming crouch. It like locks you in place too. You have no air control. Oh. Did I? Yep, I guess we're going into a different elevator.
Goodness. Another elevator.
How exciting.
Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
I'm not gonna lie though, I probably would listen to the narrator reading out the entire dictionary. The narrator's pretty cool. Look at all this new content. New Fast Hitler speedrun times.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. Oh, it's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always.
Aw.
What do you say, friend?
I do have to say, it's very funny. Oh, also new content. It's like when the narrator, obviously joking, is saying like, oh, they rushed a sequel to market after 9 years. God, I wish video game developers would wait 9 years before rushing something to market. Well, this is different. I hate Mondays. Join the club. The I Hate Mondays Club.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
Oh, all right. Stanley, you have to vent. Have you heard of Among Us? Coffee nut. Oh, God.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
My goodness.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Interesting that they never bring up the mod. Like, I guess the retail version is like what they obviously want people to remember, but it's interesting that it doesn't get any kind of mention at all. Anyways, I love Assassin's Creed. I love the Memory Zone. Don't forget.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched?
Oh, God.
Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Screenshots in Russian for some reason? Zone, sweet zone. Oh, God, what the hell was I doing in 2013? I don't really want to think about it. I love this collector's box edition, though. Everything you need to make great ideas even better. 2014 Venice Game Festival Audience Award, the Stanley Parable, and the BAFTA. Oh, no, I guess they didn't win a BAFTA. What? I really wish I could zoom in. The Last of Us in the category story. Oh, oof, They never tell you to go in the vent is a play trick, going back to the original content. Well, the thing that it looked like was when I climbed back up the stairs, it looked like it was the initial hallway for the like right before you make the 2-door choice. So my first kiss, my first car, the re-release was the Stanley Parable in 2013. All of these postcards. Mind Control Facility, the Stanley Parable 2013. The Memory Zone Temp. The original remake. Oh, okay. Linguists identify 15,000-year-old ultra-conserved words. The Washington Post. Researchers identified 24 words whose sound and meaning have survived the past 15,000 years. That is incredibly impressive, considering human civilization is, I think, only something like 4,000 years? No. 12,000 years? Yeah. 6 components of a great corporate culture. John Coleman, Harvest Business Review. Business bloggers at Harvest Business Review discuss a variety of business topics, including managing people, innovation, leadership. Oh. I thought those would be funnier to read. Good times. Trip down memory lane. Ah, the Stanley Parable on vinyl. $1. I don't really know what the dollar has to do with anything. Stanley Parable demonstration. The demo was its own thing, and that was pretty cool too. Go outside, don't play for 5 years. Now you have to wait 10 years. Unachievable. It is impossible to get this achievement. It's true. It was a nominee for the BAFTA or British Academy. Yeah, BAFTA in game innovation, a nominee in debut game, and a nominee in story, but obviously didn't win anything because The Last of Us had to win it. Stanley Parable deals tough choices. Friday, June 7th, 2013, so literally before the game even came out. Oh, there's us, dead on the floor. Our favorite memory. In loving memory, little Stanley. Oh no, oh. Sweet little baby. Rest in peace. I don't want to trample the flowers. I also can't even get up there. I guess Stanley also doesn't want to trample the flowers enough.
Je me remémore les jours où je t'ai rencontré, mon amour. Mais ici, c'est aussi où je me souviens de la sortie de The Stanley Parable.
Trying very hard to understand the French lyrics here.
C'était en 2013, un très bon jeu vidéo. 2 mois après, les journaux, mon amour.
Just kind of talking about, like, reminiscing on when the video came out. Anyways, I think I'm done listening to that. I'm sure you can find that track on YouTube, if you so are inclined.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created."
That is
Did
a
you
very
hear
good
that,
James
Stanley?
Stephanie Sterling impression.
Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
That was an hour of elevator content? It's down here. Memory zone maintenance. Okay, well, we can't... Oh. Can't turn on the fire alarm or anything. Maybe we'll be coming back this way. I really wish I could read those... I really, really wish I could zoom in. That would make reading all this stuff so much easier. The tasteful nostalgic. It was good. It sure was. Ah, Person of the Year. Stanley won Person of the Year. And also there's Mariela, I think. Ah, look at those nav mesh maps. The good times. Was there really a collector's edition of the Stanley Parable? Because I legitimately do not remember anything like that. But then again, I also don't really go for collector's editions of games anyways, so maybe I just
Here's
ignored it.
another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com.
Ooh, the Source
The
SDK.
Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Repeatable carpet textures ready for your game project. Gray, red, missing coworker scenario, meeting, boring, grass, trial version. 6 royalty-free designs on CD-ROM. Pairing snake oil salesman routine. Was that in the demo? I genuinely don't remember. The serious room. Oh, I want to go to the serious room. Hello? I like to be serious. I'm very serious all the time.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again.
Buy on Steam. Alright, well, let's go down to the memory zone maintenance.
Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Is the door glitching out? No.
Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here.
A wretched
Some
hive of
these reviews
scum
were
and
glowing
villainy.
as well, weren't they?
Oh god. A giant stack of Steam reviews printed and stored in a cargo container. I cannot think of a worse waste of space.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
It's funny how much these look like, for whatever, I guess just because of the grimy industrial feeling, but they look like Half-Life 2 textures, even though I think they're all, like, unique. I don't think they're taken from anything. I imagine you can't exactly use, like, Half-Life 2 textures in a game that doesn't run on the Half-Life 2 engine anymore. Because they ported the whole thing over to Unity. Truck.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record.
I wonder...
feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
I wonder if they ever got in touch with people to use those reviews. If those are like actual reviews, and I can't imagine that they're not. Or maybe they're just paraphrased reviews, because definitely if they're real reviews, and those are actually people's usernames, I sure hope they... Oh, Oh dear. Okay. I cannot believe I was about to get soft locked in the memory zone. What an embarrassing way to go.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
This seems safe. Well.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say... the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably,
This narrator is so
until
fun.
the end of time, at which time
But
everything all at once.
I get
now
the
you
feeling
see, blah, blah,
sleeping.
blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations.
I couldn't
Not that,
agree
of
more.
course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think.
Okay.
So my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice.
Okay.
That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your Greek gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once, that you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time.
I see.
By virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first, I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this
I
one.
think treatise
it
works
has
much
more
better.
of a treatise vibe
Oh,
to it.
absolutely.
But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone? It
That's
has
true.
a mouthfeel that is rich with ambition and history. Ambitious history, if
That's
you will.
true.
Ah. See,
Manifesto
now
is
you've
just
got
such a
me going
fun
back
word to roll around on the
manifesto.
tongue.
Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay, look, I have a method for exactly this sort of situation, and I do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other,
Okay.
in which case the word I am not sick of shall be the victor. It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations.
Absolutely.
All right, here we go. Treatise, manifesto, 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 treatise, manifesto. Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps.
But did you
To
ever
be
come
honest,
to
I don't
decision what
even
you
know
wanted
if
to
one
call
can
your
change their
thoughts?
review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works.
Not a bad idea.
Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review, so that the feature is not widely abused.
You can absolutely
Look,
change your
I would
review,
even
by
be
the
okay
way.
with Steam altering this particular review so that it reads as something more
Because,
beneficial. Something along the
there's
lines of,
definitely been a
"This
lot of
game
reviews
is the
I've read,
best
that
game." Hmm.
go like,
Let me start
edit
over.
after some more
How about
considerations and the
this?
developer got in
From
contact with
the
me. I can
ashes
definitely
of
say that this
depravity
game is still not
rises
worth
the
buying.
phoenix
They've
of
ruined
quality.
everything.
How else to describe the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe? Such a revolutionary step forward in the lineage of one of the most beloved video game properties of all time. The additions and changes made to this expansion will surely resonate in the annals of the history of all media ever made. It is perhaps true to say that no mistakes are forever etched in stone, for the stone into which the Stanley Parable was carved has itself been transmuted, offering a message of hope to those who have ever erred in their judgment. You are not beyond redemption. You may change, and you may become more, so much more than you were before.
Funny thing
If
is
there
that
any message to be taken from the Stanley Parable
they wouldn't
Ultra
edit the
Deluxe,
review
it is
because
this.
the Stanley
What a
Parable Ultra
fortune,
Deluxe is a completely
a
new
privilege,
listing on
a
Steam.
joy it is to have had such an experience. It leaves me hopeful that as a community, as a world, there is time for us to become our greatest selves, as great as we ever could dream of in our wildest, most ambitious visions for a brighter future. Wow. Now, Stanley, that's a review.
Oh, it certainly
it's
is.
Perfect.
Oh, absolutely.
It's the perfect review. It's the review I've always dreamed of receiving. I have to read it again. It's simply too wonderful.
Couldn't agree more.
I have to experience this just one more time. From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality. How else to describe the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe? Such a revolutionary step
I wonder if
forward
someone
in
has
the
written this
lineage of
review
one
yet.
of the most beloved video game properties of all time.
Because
The
if not, you're
additions and
clearly
changes
slacking.
made to this expansion will
Anyways.
surely resonate.
Think we get the
Okay,
point.
welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through
Is
is
there
becoming
not a door
longer
here?
and longer. That last one was,
Oh, dear.
well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here?
Yeah.
Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room?
You tell me, buddy.
I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere?
On my way to write that
porthole?
review.
A
Nice.
sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did it go? Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall?
Right.
Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall
Here we
until
go.
enough damage is done for you to be able to leave?
Oh.
Please, I'll take any option at all.
Okay, one more
I'm
time.
asking you to work with me here. We need a door. We need a door of some kind.
Oh.
I can work with any kind of door as long as it can open and lead from one room to another.
I don't think it's working, buddy.
I'm going to step away for just a moment, and I'm going to try to find us a door.
Okay.
I don't know how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall, but I will find a way, I promise. You just need to not do anything. Don't press the skip button. Please, please, please do not press the skip button. Just wait here for me, and don't press the skip button. Got it? Yes, good.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
So, I'm sure this is pretty confusing for people who haven't seen the Stanley Parable when it first released. But hopefully, like, the first initial endings that we saw have sort of made it very evident, kind of like what game this was and what you do in it, and how they're just trying to ruminate on the nature of updating games, I think, and you know how a game should be updated with new stuff. I'm gonna press the skip button.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here, and more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it, and I have to believe, I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you? I've been thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh my God. And it's all because of those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea who they are. What would it ever really matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant as a child.
Same.
Wild and impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out with a vengeful fury to alter and to change and to break anything unbroken, if only it pleases this one person who made a single negative comment. What does such an impulse serve? For whose benefit is this? And here I am now, stuck in a room, waiting for you to press this button, and to become frozen in time, knowing that you're going to do it, and that I'm going to be stuck all alone, and that I had the power to prevent it all from happening, if only I'd held my tongue. It's all out of my control now. Just you. Just your decision as to exactly when you're going to make me suffer.
Oh, there's no collision on
and
this
leave me
plank.
all alone. Surely you will. I don't doubt it. Surely you'll press that button again, leaving me here. And surely you'll put your own desire to see what's next ahead of my need for company, for companionship. Surely you'll not be moved by my howls of fitful anxiety, that you sit with me and just stay here. Oh, no, 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 I know you too well. You'll be leaving me Oh, my God.
But
And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me
okay,
to fix the
that
problem?
looped really
Why did-
weirdly.
Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all.
Oh, the plants
it isn't
died.
even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm
R.I.P..
realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me. Because maybe, Stanley, maybe, if you can hear me, then maybe it means I'm real.
No one is real.
Maybe I'm not just a fiction. Was I scared of that all along? Perhaps, yes. Perhaps I've been scared this whole time, that if I stop speaking, I'll slip backwards into the silence and be consumed by it. I can't be taken by it, Stanley. I can't lose myself in the stretch of emptiness between you and me. When you press that button, you're still right there, but I know you're so tremendously far away. And in those moments, the emptiness folds itself outward in between the two of us, and I am suspended in its unyielding quietness. I can feel the edges of my reality curdling inward and decaying. I can tell that I am becoming less and less real. Yet to speak to you now, I am alive. I am truly and completely here. I am a being. I am someone. I am something. I am being listened to. I am being recognized. The emptiness between us has collapsed, and I feel right now like I am not a work of fiction. I feel as though I occupy space in this world again, and I have cast a shadow onto the wall. You see what I'm saying, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
You can see what this means to me. I'm so clear about it now,
Finding
Stanley.
self-actualization
I feel as certain
through
about
others.
this as I've ever felt about anything at all. I feel renewed. I feel restored, and already I can sense the looming silence as you will press the button for the next time. What a terrible dread it strokes in my heart to think of it, to think of returning to such coldness. Come, let us sit in silence together here for just a moment. Let us anticipate it. Let us welcome it. Let us not run from it.
Okay.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside,
Imagine being trapped
what
in one
took its
place for
place
over
is
a
what
year.
I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and disgust simultaneously. I was consumed by it. I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, for what I now know was far less. You see, it was a revelation for me. It was unlike anything I had ever known. It was a space without consequence, without action or outcome. It was divorced entirely from the question of free will that you and I have squabbled over for so long. There could be no one ending, no singular outcome of events, not if all events existed in the same moment, and I felt freed. I felt unburdened by the need to manifest a particular outcome into being. I saw that I could allow myself to exist along all timelines, and that each of them was simply a strand in the web of my being. It was incredible.
Glad you're taking this in stride.
The equanimity of the moment, both singular and infinite. For the longest time, this was my experience. And then, this moment passed, and the most unyielding fear I have ever known crept into my mind. And it is this sensation that I have been experiencing now for longer than I could have ever expected was possible. I have been waiting for you. Not that you might save me or do something to fix it, but merely to state for you the plain fact of this manner of existence. I wish you to feel afraid as I do, that perhaps one day this state of mind will consume you as well. Perhaps you will somehow, in some way, have to live as I do now, and I wish for you to know how excruciating it is, and for you to be in true terror of its eventual arrival.
Buddy,
If
I stream games. I'm already terrified of not being
perhaps it will
known
bring
on the
me
internet.
the smallest moment of peace in the darkness.
I already derive so much of my self-worth and actualization through other people on the internet. And now it's time to make you wait a bunch more. Have fun! Oh, I think we need new ball bearings in the fan. Oh, we can press it again. Note, I've been lurking. No worries, Fizz. Thanks for letting me know. Thank you for making a note and helping me realize my self-actualization through others. Okay, I think we're just gonna have to press it again. I guess I've been Stanleying. Yeah. Oh. Oh, the isotopes have reached their half-life. Gonna need to replace them. God, Stanley, you really need to just carry around a flashlight.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley Parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so? Yes! Yes! It seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our lives.
Ha!
It has come to represent us. It absolutely must speak to who we are as people, because otherwise, without our entertainment, we have nothing. Without entertainment, we would have to face inward toward the cruel bleakness inside ourselves. we would turn to look at our deeper nature and find a resounding emptiness gazing back with unyielding aggression. And so because of this, we require that our amusements and our playthings and our flights of fancy be so impossibly captivating that they consume all of our attention, turn our heads completely away from the bleakness. In effect, we have demanded that our entertainment be the collapse of ourselves. What a pitiful reflection of humanity these entertainments are. What a shameful mirror to the human spirit they project. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about any of this. I'm at peace with it. I am the calm center of gravity around which these perversions hurl themselves. I am a waypoint for reasonable and collected discourse.
Keep puffing that
They're
copium,
the ones
dude.
who are mad. They're the ones who couldn't stand the idea of me using my game to try to say something. Maybe they were just jealous of me. Yes. Yes, of course.
Yes.
They've been jealous of me this whole time. They are mired in fear and insecurity and cannot help but attempt to tear me down. What a sad state of affairs. When you read these reviews now, you can see it. You can taste the bitter resentment. And my, how good does it feel now to speak truth to these words, to finally allow these thoughts out, contained and managed for so long, neutered and sterilized. At last I am free to truly think, to feel. It must be that they were so discontent with themselves, they couldn't help but leave a negative review on Steam. Perhaps it says far more about them than it ever said about me. Perhaps the state of their psychological being was in such tatters, and my constitution and willpower are so ironclad in comparison. Perhaps it was this state that they sought some outlet through which to tear me down. This, you can see, is clearly why they felt the need to expect that the game be funny, that it be filled with yucks and whimsical humor, that it amuse them endlessly from start to finish. But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us.
Entertain these nuts. Sorry, what? Part that really sells this bit, 2013 Stanley Parable was a smash hit as far as I know. Oh, absolutely. It was like one of the really, really standout games that kind of like everybody was talking about and was like a major hit on all the games journalism websites and stuff. Like it was really good, but the entire point was not that it was negatively received by everybody, but rather that there are people who criticize it for things, and the narrator took these criticisms to heart, and is not mad. Totally not mad. Not mad. Not mad at all.
The end is never the end, 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 is
Oh, it's leaking.
end, is never the 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 the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end.
Break it down. I get the funny feeling. Oh no, the button's not active yet. Oh no, it's active again. Ah! Much better. The sweet, sweet release of entropy. Eventually, we too will be reduced to nothing. Oh no, the ladder! No. Time claims all, even you, my friend. Ooh. Nature is healing. Ah. This is fine. I'm sure this is just a very normal part of our planet's cycle where we lose the sky and there's just a bunch of ash on the ground. It's very normal. Yep, still incredibly normal right now. This is fine. You know, that's just one of our normal seasons, the eternal hellscape, anguish screams of the damned as the dead walk the earth. Section of the game the developers can't find. Yeah. Ah. We've entered the desert of the unreal. This is definitely making me think I should absolutely pick up Sable and go on a magical hoverbike tour throughout the desert, because that game just sounds really neat. And I wish I didn't have like a million other games that I'm just like, also just was like, you know what? These games are really neat. I think I should show them off. Well, what? They're 20-hour games? Oh, that's okay. That's fine. That's fine. It'll only take me several months to get through a game. Oh, you know, that's totally fine. It's fine. It's fine. Ah. We're back.
Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know there's a few things I need you to pick up on your way home from work today. We need milk, cereal, dish soap, spaghetti, get a thing of sugar, some bread, and coffee beans, whichever ones you like. I'll give you a call if there's anything I forgot. Thanks, sweetie. See you tonight.
Okay, honey, but you called the wrong extension again. Oh, also, I guess we can go outside.
At first,
And with
Stanley
Soka.
assumed
Yay.
he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be?
I think
Why
this hurts
don't
my
we
eyes.
Take a minute just to drink it all in. Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
No, I'm good.
Ah, then in that case we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time.
It's very
What
involved.
if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones.
Yay!
Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Thanks. But yeah, it is very good to see that the skip button just literally goes and decays everything you've ever known. And I'm very glad that they did this thing. Ah, papers, papers, papers!
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
Time. Oh. Can we do that one? Because I know we can go to Button Heaven, but I don't remember how to get there. Because there's not a lot of more computers here. Oh. Oh my god. Wow, I love new
Good.
content.
You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Excellent. Lead on. I've really always been just like kind of over. What is going on? New. Like new Super Mario Brothers.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Yay! Oh my god. Look at this modern office decor.
Far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions. Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Time to wake up. I'm so glad they even though they have new content, they're like they're making you work for it in the way that you kind of really have absolutely no idea how to get to it.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Oh man, I love the default Photos app. Who needs actual paintings when you can just put a bunch of TVs everywhere? And these geometric candle holders. So synergistic. New mug. Oh my god. Did one of the doors behind us open? I thought I heard something. Maybe not. We could go back in the elevator, I guess, but... do I want to be that mean? I don't know if it actually does anything. I don't think it does. There's definitely a part of me that wants to just, sit in a corner for a little while to, see if the narrator has any reactions, but then also, they might not. Never underestimate coffee enjoyer. And left their cup. Who left their cup by a leather sofa that faces a blurry room? Ah. Now that's the true mark of an innovator. The blurry room. The bird books. Oh my god, I want a bird book. Look at that fancy bird. I think the actual company is called Crows, which, pretty good. Old plus busted, new content, new hotness. Cool red section of the chart. Boring sections of the chart. New content is out. New content part 2 is in. That's a good mug. It is. Don't talk to me before I've had it my sequel. New mug. More TSP, better TSP. Win and win. Sequential mind share. Paradigm shift, synergy, brick and mortar approach, envelope, client-centric marketing. The color red. Leverage, holistic value. We should go from 1 to 2. I'm gonna make myself throw up. Eat. Ah, hacking in the mainframe database. Okay, let's continue on to the investors meeting.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it.
Okay.
I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
I mean, you're not wrong. Meeting plan, 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. Scrum, 10 design pitch, 11:30 break, 11:35 pitch design, 12:02 number 2 chat, 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, 2 arms, 2 legs. Who took the red marker? Me. The end is never the end. Again. Now in the Stanley Parable 2. I saw the investor showcase. Sequels are good. Portal 2, Half-Life 2, Batman, Arkham Asylum 2, City, Divinity, Original Sin 2, Doom 2, Aladdin 2, Return of Jafar, Dark Souls 2. You know what? I can't agree with any of these. It makes fun of me personally. I don't know what makes your brain implode, but that's the way the movie ends. I have not heard of Aladdin 2, Return of Jafar, but I also have not played a lot of SNES platformers. Stanley Parable is the prequel to the Stanley Parable 2 is the sequel to the Stanley Parable is the prequel to the Stanley Parable 2 is the... These are, like, honestly really good logos. I mean, I know they're, like, specifically making fun of current, like, design trends. Eat. I can't fucking read that. Do not trust your plan. Pain? Remember to eat. Eat. You don't like Dark Souls 2? I think it's fine. It was kind of a weird Dark Souls to get into for my first Dark Souls. Ah, so glad you found me. I'm subject to the color palette of the level. That is a mug, not... I can't fucking read that. Dark Souls 2 is fine. It's just kind of... It felt very weird to try and get into as my first Dark Souls on launch when everybody was like, oh my god, I love the original Dark Souls. And I was just like, why does my role feel like such garbage? Needless to say, I actually have not finished it, but coming back to it with a critical eye, and especially after playing Elden Ring, where a lot of its design concepts get used in a more refined way, I can definitely appreciate it. And one day I'll come back to it and beat it. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Just the two of us, building castles in the sky. Just the two of us, you and I. Every pause button is a Roman numeral 2. I can't read that. You are the sequel. Oh my god, I'm the Stanley Parable 2 this entire time. I'm literally playing Kingsfield right now. Yeah. How did... What the heck is up? Come here. New features. New content. What is happening here? Excuse me, everybody. VIP coming through. Ooh. Very fancy.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Yay. Exclusive, the button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. That's new. Hear your name in the game.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Name. Everyone's got one. Hear yours today. Road to the perfect button. Too small. Just right. Too big. I don't know. I never say no to a big button. That's definitely too small, though. No one likes that. No one will ever love you if you've got a button that small. X-ray tech is very concerned.
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this
Okay.
feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay,
Howdy, everyone.
Here we go. Let's
I'm
take a
Jim.
deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim, watching your dreams crumble into dust.
Oh God, I love it.
Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
Oh my God, I
If
feel
so,
all of
then
Jim's
please step forward and
regrets.
press the button.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. I've been training for this.
Jim.
You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you!
It was
Button
me!
described you. Do it again. Do it again.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Jim.
Oh,
Oh.
it hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
I don't know. I could use a little bit more validation in my life.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much, Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away.
No. No.
Otherwise, soon you'll start to
No,
lose
no.
any sense of who you actually are.
Jim.
No. 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 We're all too small of a time. I truly was Jim. And now I'm nothing. Oh, okay. Back to reality. It's me, Sroka, not Jim. Truly, Jim was animal with the button. It was our only proof. Exactly. That was the only thing we had tying to ourselves to the material world.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
That's how software works. 2.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it would go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Oh man, an epilogue. Why do I look like Mark Zuckerberg? Oh, the settings world champion. Damn. Oh my god. A free, new and easy achievement. I can't believe it's that simple. Oh god. Get it here. Oh yes. Oh yes, I love easy achievements. Free achievement. Get yours right now. Number 1, pull the lever. Number 2, receive your new achievement. Number 3, ha! There's no more steps. It just works. Get yours right now.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident?
Do I
Well,
ever?
I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Test achievement unachieved. Oh, well, let's do it.
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
I want the achievement now. I'm irate and I demand immediate satisfaction. The Stanley just must be Jim instead. God. Yeah. No. No. My achievements. My only way to measure my self-worth. No! It's all over.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Just skip until the achievement machine is fixed. Exactly, just skip until the sequel. Collectibles. Can you find them? Collect them all.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Okay, I didn't think this would lock me out. I think I'm stuck. Oh well, onward into the infinite and uncaring abyss. May we find some glimmer of reassurance in the precious Stanley 2 collectibles. Oh, so beautiful, so remarkably unremarkable. That visage, so plain and lizard-like looking. All of these people who died trying to claim what is rightfully mine. Woohoo!
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket, Settings World Champion, which we couldn't get to. I wonder if... Oh, the Infinite Hole. It won't end.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for
Yeah.
Stanley Parable 2 as well.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle? Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
Sure you can't give me a couple more jumps? Just a smidgen? Please? Please, I want to use my knees. Please, I want to briefly escape from the embrace of gravity. Please. Please. Well, what else haven't we seen yet? This map. Okay, so we haven't seen the Infinite Hole. Ooh, the office decorations. Where are those? Across and through here. fucking own. No. Consistent quality with just the right amount of change. Schween shaders. Billman, I'm going to assume that Schween is an industry term. The new updated ray trace, more of the same, but in a good way, sequel to the red is the new orange. A whole new office. Please, no screenshots. I was kinda hoping that would do something. Can I, like, try to take a screenshot of this? Aw. The baby is all grown up. I have to say, it would not have been out of character for the narrator to actually, like, remark when you press F12. I know that, like, some people rebound the key or whatever, but, like, come on. The Stanley Parable 2 merch. This t-shirt is the best new feature. The end is never the end. Again. They're back. 2 doors. I saw the new content. Do I want to try and use that QR code? Sure. Okay, give me a minute. Everything I've seen so far. This game is a little bit of something for everyone. The true Stanley Parable's evil trick. I think I have a little bit of delay going on, so I apologize. Welcome to the official website of the Stanley Parable 2. Sorry, give me just a second and I will share this with everybody. You might notice I'm not moving. That's because my phone is also my, Oh, it's just literally the StanleyParable2.com. Sorry, I will do my due diligence and open this up. Okay. All right, back at it. You can check that website out if you'd like. I'm maybe not going to read it on screen, but it's there. You can view it. StanleyParable2.com. Eagerly await the sequel. What's this? Office decorations in the infinite hole. Onward. 2.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
I'm still holding out hope that the game will actually notice when I take screenshots, but unfortunately it doesn't seem like it. Well, we gotta go with the happy birthday.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get well someday it is.
Yay! Alright, can I take one for the road? No? Okay. Okay.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Okay. Infinite Jest by David Foster Wallace. That's like an actual book, I think. I don't remember what it's about, but it absolutely is. Concrete Contemplations. I think we'll look at the bucket first, and then the hole. Because I have to imagine you can do something stupid with the hole.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, It's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
One sec. First, we have to talk about this. Board members, please note that you must use the following terms as often as possible. Synergy. No one but us actually knows what this means. It adds to our prestige. Incentivize. This refers to the metaphorical whip which proves the incentive. Unpack. Refers to looking for meaning in a big pile of rubbish. Ping. Send a message. Childlike onomatopoeia, which probably makes us sound cute. Deep dive. Discuss in depth. Makes a tedious meeting sound like more of an undersea adventure. Good for motivation. Reach out. We do not call. We do not email. We reach out. No one can complain if we are simply reaching out. Like a friend. Like a lover. Oh god. It's like my business classes all over again. Bucket.
Can you feel it?
Oh god, yes
The
I can.
glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well?
Oh, thank you. I think
that
it matches my
just holding
eyes.
it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Ah,
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game?
well they should.
That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Absolutely. Move over, Companion Cube. The bucket is the new hotness. What's this over in the corner? Oh, that's just the other side of the office. Decorations. Onward to the infinite hole. I think we've seen everything, although there is the settings. I don't know if I can actually get in there. Just noticed that my teeth. It feels like my jaw is cracking a lot, which is fun and good. Nope. I don't know how to get into the settings, World Champion. Sure, we'll find out somehow. Maybe you can't. Time/depth. Time like infinity. Hole like infinity. Distant future. Distant space-time. Falling. Space like infinity. Distant past. Distant space-time. Opening. Rim. Surrounding area. Depth. Infinite. Infinite hole chart. Hole. More hole. Infinity. Falling. More. Science. Space. Depth. Educational use only. You gotta be world champion. Absolutely. And I have to admit, I'm not the settings world champion. I've been working very hard on it. I've been, putting in a lot of hours, really learning those settings, but I'm just not the best yet. And I'm gonna have to accept that and keep working on it. Gotta beat the Axis powers on the leaderboard. Ah, the true winners.
Stanley, here's an idea that
The
I'm
true
truly
champions
fond
of world
It's never been
settings.
done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
No one has ever done infinite holes before. I can't actually let go of the bucket. I was gonna try and toss the bucket down the hole, but...
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top.
No, just
We
wait.
do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Oh, come on, narrator. We've already suffered through the end of time once together. What's another time for old time's sake?
Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely?
Look, I have
I
to
figured the hole
fight
was as
gravity
deep as
somehow.
anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on.
You
I'll
promised
just be
an
up
infinite
here when
hole.
you're ready.
Also, I imagine that there's like a stock photo of cigarettes, but the fact that there are like nubs where you just see the filter, sure, that makes sense. And then there's some where there's like no filter at all. Did someone like smoke it from filter side first? Nice hole. Well, it would be if it was infinite, but it has a very clear and definite bottom, meaning it's not infinite, meaning false advertisement, meaning I'm going to refund this game on Steam because I was lied to.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Great. Let me just be on my way.
Oh, for heaven... You see? I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole.
Big Closet
I didn't think
2.0,
was
it really
that not
is.
Infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
Bucket spirit parachute to make the whole experience feel more infinite. God, well, we needed it. Something to slow our drag to help make this hole way better than it actually is.
Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about, and I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime.
Me too. Let me just be on my...
Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
Variable depth hole is just as impressive as an infinite one. Yeah, but they called it an infinite hole. Where's my infinite hole?
Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge?
My
You
hole.
just do whatever
Hiss.
it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
My hole. Go away.
Is the, teleport button not working?
Oh dear.
You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley.
What?
You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for.
Yay!
It's a win for everyone. You
My
get
hole.
to be with the hole.
Yeah,
I get to do literally anything else.
Yeah.
Take care, Stanley.
I've got a
I
big
hope you
hole.
and the
I've got a
hole
bucket, which
will
is like a
wonder
hole.
the rest of eternity together.
Yeah. The hole group. It's me. It's my hole. Tss, tss. Why is the music kicking in? The hole! The hole! It's becoming whole again. Nature is healing. Infinity recedes out to beyond and forever, and yet nowhere at once. Finally, I am at peace. Oh, God. Stanley, you gotta do something about your facial hair. The universe is correcting itself. Change your perception? No. OBS is super choppy right now. I imagine what this is doing, it takes a lot of CPU cycles. I don't look at Stanley's face either. I don't blame it. To render the infinite, it's true. We are asking the computer to basically render infinity. You know, I do have an RTX capable card, but it's not that good.
My head's stronger. Now you're no longer using up the space of mine. My head's stronger. Now you're no longer using up the space of mine. My head's stronger. Now you're no longer using up the space of mine. My head's strong.
How many tracks are there? Oh, I love Instagram filters. Oh. Erasing hall, I mean, got sucked into a black hole. Damn. You reached the end. That's very funny gag. Very gag and oh, okay, that definitely sounded like a Zorg gag. This backward speech sounds like that one YouTube video where it was like non-English speakers listening to English, and it's just like two people speaking in what to me kind of sounds almost like Dutch or something, and where like you can kind of make out certain words, but like most of it is just complete gibberish. And it's very fun if you want to imagine that you're like having a stroke. Is it finally gym time? I think it might be finally gym time. Here we go. Oh. Perfect. Oh. Okay, that explains a couple things. That hurts to look at. Ah. Dan enjoys holes because of the weird things happen in sensory deprivation
Stanley?
tanks. Oh.
Stanley! Stanley!
What?
Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland.
Oh, we didn't get to see all the
But we can't
models.
have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment.
It's true.
So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole?
Okay, I appreciate
From the
it.
looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodlepip.
Now they're gone. Now we can truly... Oh, damn it.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Can I get a second bucket? I guess not. Can I put it away? Nope. It's mine forever. That's new. Oh. Okay, alright, game. I appreciate it. Actually, oh wait, that's just this one. You heard Jim in the game. You heard Jim in the game. The button that says Jim. That's Jim. I want to press the buttons. No. I want to hear it say Jim again. Just one last time. And go to the settings. Oh. The button that says the player that is playing the game. So you didn't fix that, but you did fix the mostly infinite hole. Gym Dependence Day. What? Oh. The bucket disappeared. I wasn't exactly sure what was going on. Can we go to the settings? Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, never mind. It was this way. I thought the door to the, I thought the door to the place was blocked off, but no, that's something else. Can I go to the settings? Please? Have I not ground enough on the world settings grind? Alright, well, I'll just go back to the mostly infinite hole. Go hang out with my best friend. The hole. The one who truly understands me. The one who'd let me in. Let me in! God damn you, let me in. You can't do this to me, it isn't right. You can't keep me away from it. We had an understanding. Nothing else can ever truly come between us. You goddamn monster, let me in! I'll show you a trick to get in there. That's true. That's true. Only those who have mastered the settings could truly call themselves the settings world master. I haven't even touched the settings. I've been a settings scrub this entire time. Alright. Got the hole right there in your hands. This is true. Not seeing anything here that would... Oh, I hate inverted Y. No, I don't know. I definitely didn't see anything there. We might just be out of stuff. Oh, exit. Guess we can take the exit. We're done here. Wonder what those are supposed to be.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Think so. Ooh, laptop bag.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment.
Okay.
I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind.
It's a good first step.
Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement.
Okay.
Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course.
Okay.
With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game.
It'll never
Would
work.
it possibly work?
No.
It could, but it would need a really, really tremendous title screen.
Okay.
A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, this is the Stanley
just funny
Parable
gags.
2.
Look.
Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Oh my god. It's here. Take a screenshot of that. Ooh, a little bit of warping on that clock, but this is a nice effect.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked
Look
in
at the
a company in a big
balloons!
building where
Oh
he
my
was
god.
employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Look at all those filing cabinets just
And
kind of
then one day, something very
stacked
peculiar
in odd
happened.
places.
Something that would forever change Stanley.
The Stanley Parable
Something
2!
he would never
Oh my
quite forget.
god!
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened? This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh god, I hope the gym button is here somewhere.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Oh, I think that's right. You may just have to do all the inputs on a different playthrough. The bucket. It's here. It came for us. It knew we couldn't leave it in that showcase exhibition. It's ours now.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Yeah.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can
No.
feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet
No.
believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to
No.
say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies.
No way.
Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong.
I will.
This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over.
No.
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 Name calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined.
No.
And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial
No.
and convenient?
No.
That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object
That's not
which
true.
happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing
No.
manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it.
How dare
really
you.
Tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments.
I can't believe
Expand
it.
on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together.
We went through
Go
a
each of
mostly
them point
infinite
by
hole.
point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket, as they
Yeah.
have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
Yeah. You can't do this to me, broom closet. I'm better than that. This bucket is my
Okay,
only long...
I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet.
Yeah.
With all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
My sticker, my bucket, not yours.
All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. See? I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way,
Yeah.
if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not,
Oh
you
my
look
God,
down
thank
at the
you.
sticker and say to
I
yourself,
thought I was going
"Ah,
crazy.
It's a bucket. There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
Oh, thankfully now there will be no confusion about what this item is. It is a
You know
bucket.
what? I could take the name calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
Sounds like a plan. I'm just gonna be in here for a little bit longer. Ah, it sure was great to be in this broom closet for the entire time I was here. Yep. It was so nice. I had to take a moment to myself and self-reflect upon the betrayal of the broom closet. And, how you think you can trust somebody, but
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the
I guess you
boss's
can't.
office. You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done.
That's all
you
I
can't
need.
buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried.
Oh,
So,
God, same.
I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Yeah. I've got the feeling money's for stealing, but not yours, of course. Say, that's a lovely purse. I wonder what lets you get on the elevator. That doesn't go anywhere, but still.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
Darn, if you can put it in 2845 before the narrator tells you, and he's like, "What? How did you guess that?"
Stanley just sat around,
Yes.
but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
The only explanation.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Oh, thank goodness we have this bucket.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Bucket, you and I have
Although
got to
this
get out of here.
passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
No, don't listen to him. We're getting out of
The
here.
door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Don't listen. Ah,
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort
No.
had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket
Never.
everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was
No.
crushed violently to death. It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest.
no,
It was a glorious bucket to
No.
behold.
the bucket. It's gone. No. I had it in my hands. It was right there. It was there. They took it away. The bucket. It's gone. No. The bucket welcomes you to the grand exhibit. You are standing at the precipice of knowledge. Much like a bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within, a cavernous void. But through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and substantiated. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn out here with you into the world? Will you accept with an open mind what may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were, in ignorance and darkness? It's not fair. The bucket had so much to live for.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see
No.
that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
She's right. The bucket gave everything for me. Now I'm here. For what? 25 buckets. A photograph of 25 buckets. The greatest number of buckets ever captured on camera. The photographer experienced catatonic shock for several weeks as a result of the euphoria from exposure to this many buckets at once. And it's hard to blame them. Look at it. Truly, a staggering number of buckets. A bucket with 2 handles. This bucket is depicted as having 2 handles. Such a design has never been created in real life, having been deemed too dangerous and recklessly experimental. Every year, dozens are put to death just for attempting it. This eldritch knowledge must never leak out into the full world. The rest of the world. It must be kept safe. The Inferno bucket. A replica of the Inferno bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war with one another for control of it. Billions died, and yet in spite of it all, the simple fact remains. No one can control a bucket. What about me, though? Can I take it? No. Absolutely bucketous. 25, I know. The stress bucket, an analogy. Worrying, negative forecasting, negative thinking, lack of reassurance is equals to stress, the level of water in the bucket. Vulnerability, size and strength of the bucket. Coping strategy equals holes. Rest and relaxation, doing something you enjoy. Rest and relaxation. This feels like an actual diagram. The stress bucket, presented without commentary. That looks like an actual diagram from, like, a self-help book or something. Mankind's ancient most memories. Truly, the bucket was with us all along. Cave drawing. While we know that the buckets predate the existence of mankind, we do not know by how long. This cave drawing depicts early man's discovery of the practical uses of the bucket, by which time the bucket had already been likely around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasures. Truly, the bucket is the great benefactor.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
You're right. None of us can truly ever hope to compare to the majesty of the bucket. The hanging bucket. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. However clear our grasp of the bucket may be, there is yet more than is always out of reach. This distance, inevitably, is for our own good. But think about it. We could take it. We could capture the power once more. We could become the masters of our own fate. Seize the bucket! Seize the day! Oh. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of thought I'd just be falling right to
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as
You're
commander
right.
of a new world, a new vision of the...
We had to do it. For all of Bucket future.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
Oh, it has the stickers on it still. I wonder...
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I wonder if you have to do the input code on... I think there was maybe certain endings that reset your progress on the input code.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Keep going forward. Got it.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing in your trust
Wonder how
in
you get to the
someone else
vent.
can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
I mean,
There's someone you've been neglecting,
I could absolutely
Stanley.
believe. Oh no, wait. Yeah, I could
Someone
absolutely
you've
believe
forgotten
that
about.
you cannot actually get all
Please,
the collectible
stop trying to make
figurines.
every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Okay, I'll pick it up.
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly. I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth...
The sequel is now paused. I'm wondering if the thing to do is just take the bucket all the time.
Hi, Stanley. Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know there's a few things I need you to pick up on your way home from work today. We need milk, cereal, dish soap, spaghetti, get a thing of sugar, some bread, and coffee beans, whichever ones you like. I'll give you a call if there's anything I forgot. Thanks, sweetie. See you tonight.
I'm taking the bucket.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
It's true.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Oh god, there's like entirely new dialogue for everything once you pick up the bucket. This is terrifying.
Truly, being here with the bucket was a grand adventure. Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together. First,
Spaghetti beans.
walking through the door on the right, then walking to the lounge, then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired.
Another you gotta have... Don't talk to me until I've had my spaghetti beans in the morning.
Perhaps this was where the bucket felt most truly at home.
Where's the gym
Here
button?
in
I
the
don't know.
employee lounge. Perhaps it's the only place a bucket can even feel at home.
We gotta find this gym button, but I don't know where it would be.
Stanley decided to just give the bucket absolutely as much time as it needed to be in the lounge.
I never looked in the bucket.
Clearly,
Oh my
the
god, you're
bucket
right.
and the employee lounge shared a special connection.
Never look inside of a bucket. That would be
But
improper.
finally, the bucket was done being in the lounge, and they took the first open door on their left to get back to business.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Oh, hold on. Can I just do this? Yes. Wow. What? Oh, that's right.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? What about Stanlerines?
Ooh.
Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Excellent. Oh! That actually did go somewhere. Where the hell are we? This is like a rougher customer than I was expecting. Look, it's not... You know, the bucket had a rough upbringing, but... It's truly what you need to be... You know, like a what is fucking happening here? Why does it feel like it's kind of jittery? Is it just because I'm walking into like a million tapes? I guess so.
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my
I don't know
arms.
why I find it so funny
Why
that
everything feels so...
they take the bucket so seriously. Like it's like the you know, where
What do
the
I
narrator
do
was
with
like,
this treasure?
oh, you know, I don't...
I can
This is not supposed to be jokes.
I can
And
monetize
here I
it.
am, laughing at the bucket. Ken and Stanley
It's
voice.
unthinkable the amounts of
No,
money
this is,
people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket.
I think it's supposed to be someone else.
This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there?
The world revolves around it. It's so good. Okay. All right. Well, I have to
All
know.
of his co-workers were gone.
I have to
What
know.
could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I have to know what the hell that tape is when you don't have the
When
bucket.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
Because
this was not the correct way to the meeting
I
room,
don't think-
and Stanley knew it perfectly
I definitely
well.
don't remember that in the
Perhaps
original
he wanted
game.
to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had
Was the
begun
Stanley place?
from
Maybe it
so
was.
far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun from so far off the beaten path.
You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and
I
intricate
clapped.
storytelling.
I stood up
It
and
must be
clapped.
so simple to be you. life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
Okay.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself.
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
Maybe somebody ever said it's not a fresh Stanley starting at
calling
base
to him,
0?
telling him that the employee
Oh, I think
lounge
Stanley is
was
supposed to
simply
be.
the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct?
Refreshed on
No,
a
never
0.
mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took
God,
the door on his
like
left,
all this new
flew back to
dialogue
the
for
meeting
this
room.
one fucking bucket.
No,
Said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room.
Go
Go somewhere else.
The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Stop punching
Good,
Stanley now.
said the bucket.
Probably
Now
for the
ride
best.
the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Whatever the bucket says. All hail the bucket.
In here, said the bucket. Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone, said the bucket. Pick up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Okay, I'm gonna do the phone ending. Because it doesn't take like super long.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Stanley's apartment's pretty clean. Hello, Stanley. It's me, your bucket. Press Y to take me to work with you.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Press D-pad up to take me back home with you.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me. Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
You're wrong. Don't listen to the loud men. Press left for us to go back home.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from, me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket, this stupid hunk of metal.
Press A to ignore anyone in your life except for me.
It's sad. I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine.
Yeah,
to
you
it.
see? You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Press Y to go back home.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
This is incredible. Like, I'm basically flabbergasted that they went through and rewrote this entire game if you pick up this fucking bucket. Press right to relive the same day with me over and over.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Press A to go home, to work, to home, to work, to home.
Oh no. I'm having feelings. For the bucket. Oh, no. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation. Stanley, give me the bucket. Give
No.
it to me. Give
No.
me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it, or I'll...
This isn't fucking incredible. Okay, bucket. Whatever you say.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in,
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way.
I think we'll go ahead and do,
But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply
the chaos ending.
And here it was.
And then I
Had the
think we're
bucket
done
turned
for
out to be
today.
correct? No, never mind.
And I'll look up a
Stanley took
walkthrough
the
or
door
something
on
to
his
see what
left
other
to
things
go
are
back to the meeting
new.
room.
I guess I could hunt all the achievements
No.
or whatever.
Said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room.
Go
somewhere else.
A cargo lift, yeah. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do. Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked. In here, said the bucket. Go into this dark room over here. Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Whatever you say, bucket.
Now pick up the phone, said the bucket. Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking.
Oh my
Obviously,
God.
the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do
Oh,
things.
this is so
Buckets
good.
can't talk. It was a joke. Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket. Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it, but there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is. It's sitting
They
right
made a new
here.
video
Let's
for
take a
this
look.
part. Holy fuck.
What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies? And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds?
Absolutely.
Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing. To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor.
Incredible.
Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny." Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
I'm Dunny with the funny.
Good. This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy. Finally, it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times, just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter.
These are
and even
incredibly
tripled over
cursed
in
drawings.
laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very existence, and who very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
Oh, we're gonna open the Arc live on stream. I know, it's incredible. We're all ascended. Oh, we are truly all blessed by the bucket.
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now. Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket spoke to Stanley.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
I wonder, like, I cannot tell. I honestly cannot tell if these keycard doors are supposed to be just a prop, or if actually I'm going to find a keycard at some point. Because, I mean, fuck it. I didn't think I would be playing through the entire fucking game again, but this time with a bucket, my most deepest and dearest friend. My one true companion. The bucket.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left. What? We're back at the phone already? No. What's going on? There were supposed to be several rooms leading up to this. There was supposed to be a build-up to this point, a dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land, or not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the two doors room. What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling.
Oh, they're there.
I think I need to go back and rewatch that instructional video again.
Don't go down the doors you're searching for.
Surely that will help me
I guess
improve
we'll try
my-
that again next time. If we...
Here we go. You
Oh.
ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left. What? We're back at the phone already?
No. Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left. What?
Okay,
We're
so we
back
do have
at
to go on the left door then.
already? No. Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors...
Hey, the
they
bucket
entered
sticker's
the
not
door
here
on the
anymore. What
left.
the heck? They removed my bucket
No.
sticker.
You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video? I think this is all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud?
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes. Well, let me try that again, Stanley. I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No?
That's the only joke. I don't know if that's validating or not.
Is it the delivery?
Clearly, you're on your
Pale
way
with
to
shame.
becoming a video game
Pale with
writer.
shame? Pale... What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so metal. I think I saw it playing guitar. No. We're getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these jokes. I need more instructional videos. That's exactly what it is. That's what will make me the king of comedy again. More instructional videos.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Let's do one more run through. I'm going to just quickly grab another glass of water. Okay, and we're back. Also kind of noticed that my room is very warm, so I've opened my window, because it's middle of the night, and I don't think there'll be any loud noises outside, and I don't think I'll be
All of his
that
co-workers
noisy.
were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around.
It's true.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
No dialogue for doing that?
No, stop. Look there on the wall, you see? There's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, What if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point.
I know exactly what a
if
bucket
that's
is.
true, well, my goodness.
It's this
I
thing,
think we
right
have
here.
to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
No, because it doesn't have my stickers on it.
Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Oh.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
No.
Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Oh no. Oh my goodness. Ay, ay, ay.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
No.
Incorrect. This is a bucket.
No, it can't be. It doesn't have the stickers on it.
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one.
A certified bucket, that's for sure. Absolutely, exactly.
Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a bucket. Item 6. Is this a bucket? Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
Oh, you sneaky fox.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
The last time we used the store fluids. Exactly. You're right.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay, here we go. What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket?
Mm-hmm.
Every single thing in the game was a bucket?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what,
What have you
He
wrought?
said everything.
I've
We'll
brought
put
everything back
all of
to
the
0.
buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that.
They must know.
Who knows what that information might do to a person?
They must
All
see
right,
the light.
Here we go.
All will become one with bucket kind.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket, off on another thrilling adventure together.
Okay, I lied. We're doing one more ending.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Trust the completionist instinct. Why wouldn't they just tell you something will happen? This investigation, this room, they feel pointless, to be honest. Weird spinning figurine, someone in the cargo room. Do we need contacts for them? NDA, potential liability, bonus stuff. What we forgot, what we know, what we don't know yet. Our data, stock options, money. What do they want? Should keep making. Why do they look like 2472? Thank you. Good luck. Maybe we are the collectibles. Shut the frick up. To whom it may concern, I managed to pick up sounds unusual to our regular office ambiances or local audio sources using an array of cardioid microphones, also known as directional mic, a microphone which picks up sound from a particular area. Evolve into crab, evolve into bucket. Exactly. And you know what? You know what defeats crabs? Buckets. That's right. A crab in a bucket? Defeated. 2 crabs in a bucket? Forget about it. Buckets are the only way forward. Analysis of the recordings allowed me to triangulate the source of the strange noise. The data shows that, in all likelihood, it's coming from a dark area behind a very warm place. I also picked up what looks to be reverberance off of a porcelain surface. Anyone have any leads on this? Wouldn't you like to know? Warehouse access plan. Produce 1 plank to allow ease of access off past fence. Construct bridge to allow construction of shiny float. Retrieve Chris's remains from the warehouse floor. Construct new structurally sound bridge. We need more planks. I didn't see Chris's body. I wonder if it's actually there. Mission status. Inside of a sequel exhibit, a large room, lots of boxes. Oh, this will actually get checked off. Somewhere near red and blue, nearby a fireplace. Okay. There's only one fireplace I can think of in the boss's room. The stairs will be the stairs down there. And red and blue. Okay, so we're gonna have to ditch the bucket for that. Is this some kind of game? There must be a point to this. LOL, looks like 427. 5 there be. Just take it from me. Gotta collect them all. I want them so much. I wanna go home. Stop kidding yourselves. There will be cleaning of this wall required. Who are you? 666 LOL. There will be a reward for finding them all. How can we find them? Bottom text. Incredible. Where are they? Please, do not leave the office before reporting back on any new findings. Teamwork and communication are of great importance during this unprecedented time investigation. Thank you.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers.
Aww.
If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours.
Promise?
But alas, no stickers.
You promise, right? You're really, really out of stickers. Really? Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Fuck, where are the stairs that lead to, like, infinite euphoria? Because it's not down there. I guess I could just get that ending again, but... Yeah, I have no idea.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of... But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Are the stairs... I guess the stairs must be behind the red door? I kinda don't remember where they are.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently,
It's okay, bucket. It's okay.
reassuring it that everything would be fine.
We'll be okay. We'll make it through this. We'll figure out what the hell is going on.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world.
We can do this,
They
bucket.
high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Oh, I really am very simple. All it takes is another playthrough through the same stuff with one gag.
When at last they came to the source of the room's power, Stanley and the bucket knew it was their obligation to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and to... What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No, no, no. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Incredible. Okay, I think now that we are approaching the 4-hour mark, I'm going to go ahead and say I'm going to call this, and we're going to take this back up on Sunday to anything that we missed, anything cool and fun, which could be a lot. Obviously, I have no fucking clue anymore. I have no goddamn clue how much of this game there is. No, whoops, sorry. That's the wrong one. Anyways, just to quickly let you in on what the heck is going on the rest of this week. So on Saturday, because it is Star Wars month, yes, it is Star Wars month, over on Twitch, we're going to be starting a playthrough of Jedi Knight Jedi Academy, which is a game I like a lot, and I've had a lot of fond memories of. So it is a Star Wars game that I'd like to show off to you. Golly. And then on Sunday, back here on YouTube at 7 p.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time, or 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time, we'll be going back into the Stanley Parable Deluxe and seeing if there's anything else that we missed. Always good to spend quality time with Stroke-It / the Bucket. Oh, well, thank you so much. I really appreciate everyone who stuck by and watched this playthrough, because this was a lot of fun. I'm just really kind of amazed at how much there was to see in this game. I'm very glad and very happy. But I think that'll do it for me tonight. I'm gonna go lie down or something now. So I will see you tomorrow, or if it is still today, or if it is actually now today. I don't know. Time is a concept. Anyways, sorry. So I will see you on Saturday at 7 or 10, whatever time you like, playing Jedi Knight over on Twitch. And with that, I bid you farewell. Thank you so much, and see you next time.